least better at the end of the third. What do you make?
Yes, we did. I mean, it's just something that we have done when we've had leads early. And it's all stuff that we can control. It wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary. It's all stuff that we've seen before. Whether it's stealing out to threes. We scored 28 points, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like we scored like 15. And then it trickled over into the fourth quarter where we didn't score much at all. So the guys are aware of it. I told the coaches, what are you going to go to the huddle and say, play hard, like they know what we need to do. So it's just something that we, have to be aware of. It was just like the Denver game last week. So, and that's the one thing I did tell them is this is just like the Denver game. But I thought Torrey, his energy and effort tonight, like bailed us out of it. To have a double-double and the way he played, the defense that he played, I thought it gave us a lot of juice. And I thought Ish was also in that. He didn't score, but the defense and the attitude and intensity that those two brought helped us when we were kind of reeling for some juice tonight.
Curious with Chris, not only was he taking threes, but he was taking them even when there was a little contest. Usually he waits for it to be wide open. What do you think about the way?
Everybody's been telling Chris to shoot. You can see his 3-point numbers tonight, and his catch shot numbers are really good. And so he understands that for us to be effective, and when Kevin gets doubled or he's on the backside, when Book is in pick and roll, like he's going to get that shot. And I thought J.O. did a really good job of slashing tonight that created some shots for us on the backside. But as far as Chris is concerned, it's never thought I'd have to tell a Hall of Fame player to shoot the ball. Kevin, he's driving Kevin crazy. Book and Kevin Durant are going nuts because they all want him to shoot. And I think one thing that happens when you don't shoot that shot in rhythm, it throws DA's offensive rebounding off because he's getting ready to rebound. Then when the guy doesn't shoot, he's got to get back out of the lane. And that can take away from our ability to get extra possession. So when you have a shot, we've been a let-it-fly team from the jump. And we don't want guys thinking about it, but especially Chris Paul.
Coach, with Campaign being a healthy scratch, is everything good with him or just trying something?
No, he's fine. It's just a decision that I made to try to do something else with that second group. Defensively, having bigger guys out there. The other part is putting the ball in Book's hands a little bit and letting him, play point and orchestrate. So it's just something that we're looking at.
With the way the rotations have been, trying to mix and match and see what works and doesn't down the stretch, how have guys been receptive to that as far as, your number being called maybe this night, not the next night, that type of thing?
I think if guys weren't upset about that or competitively upset about it, I'd be surprised. Everybody's accepted it. When I have conversations with guys about their roles and what I'm planning to do, I go directly to those guys so they know what to expect. And guys, I wouldn't like it, but they understand what we're trying to do. It takes a great deal of sacrifice. And sometimes you have to, give something up to get what you want. And I'm asking guys to do that. At the same time, we're learning a lot about our team. And, this is our way of trying to find a rhythm because we don't have 30 or 40 games to do it. Once we got Kevin back, we had 7 games, so you're just trying to figure out the combinations, what looks good from the eye test, and what looks good when we watch film, when we go home, and then the numbers based on those combinations.
How do you feel like he looked in that role with Devin?
I think it's something, we've done it before with those two guys. Landry always gets this bad rap if he doesn't knock down 3 or 4 threes. But I think he's more than that. I think his ability to defend, and we can switch a lot more with him because he's 6'5" and he's pretty strong. And then he spaces the floor. He hasn't shot it as well as he would like to, not tonight, but I think having him on the floor, teams have to honor that. And he plays with great force. He understands what we do. He plays in 0.5 really well. So it's something that we hope to grow because we think having those like-sized guys that are like 6'5" to 6'8", 6'9", being able to switch, it may help us keep teams out of the paint. And hopefully, we don't give up as many threes. I thought we gave up threes tonight on offensive rebounding. That was the deal in the first half, and in the second half, we just didn't have really good steal-out defense, in particular in the third quarter.
Monty, the fact with Torrey, what you said about his energy here tonight, and he's been asked to do a lot, whether starter for most of the season and stepped up well. But do you feel like he's adjusted well with the small sample size back into the six?
I mean, just about every guy coming off the bench has had to make adjustments, but I don't know if anybody's made more than Torrey. He came into the season not knowing he was going to start. He started most of the year, and then he ends up coming off the bench, and nothing's changed for him except the minutes. But he's made an adjustment. He was an offensive rebound guy, spot-up shooter, and then on the defensive end, he guarded the toughest guy. Now he's coming off the bench, and he's still bringing the same effort, but his role is different. And so I think he deserves a lot of credit for his mental stability to be able to have the capacity to take on new roles. And he's done a good job with it.
You just alluded to it a little bit, but with the playoff berth in hand, does anything change as far as mentality when it comes to managing those heavy minutes, or is it just chugging along, trying to still find that chemistry because there's a lot of work to catch up on?
No, I think we're trying to build their capacity to handle those minutes right now, allowing Kevin to have longer stretches. Book is pretty much where he's going to be. Probably bump up 2, 3, maybe 4 more minutes to get him to 40. We typically get him at about 36. And Chris, we got to get him to, 36, 32 to 36. So, this game was good because they had longer stretches. And I think that's what builds the endurance and capacity to handle it without getting to that exhaustion limit. And so we're hopeful to, win these games that we're playing, but we also want to build cardio so that those guys are ready because we're grateful to be able to play in the playoffs again.
Crazy because he's not shooting enough. At least he took some in the first half. To maybe what you think of him taking shots when that's what you guys are urging him to do.
Yeah, we want him as aggressive as possible, and he understands that. I think it's just something that he's not completely used to. People helping off him at sometimes and him getting overlooked. I think he's always been in the position where he had to make plays for everybody on the court. So, it's going to take a little adjusting, but, it's always, you're always in a good spot if you're looking for a Hall of Famer to be more aggressive.
Curious with you with that second unit to end the first quarter and the third quarter, how are you liking that feel? Because it seems like the group constantly is changing for you throughout the year.
Yeah, just figuring it out. And that's my job as one of the leaders of the team to, make sure the new guys are on the same page. And, even the second unit that we keep the team afloat or push the lead. That's always been a goal for, the next group in. So, we've had good spots and we've had bad spots, but, we have something to learn from.
Coach mentioned Torrey wanted to give him credit for how he did today. How can you speak to his adjustments throughout the season to all the different roles he's had?
Yeah, it's tough to do. Better than me. I kind of like things set how they are, and, that hasn't been the situation for him. But tonight he was all over the place. Double-double, right? Probably a lot of rebounds. He had 10 rebounds, 15 points. He's just making the game easier, too. He's reading that they might throw a weaker defender on him. He's setting those early screens for KD and CP to get the mismatch and, taking advantage of people on the offensive glass.
Devin, I know it's always important to get a good start in every game, but with a team like San Antonio that's been struggling and undermanned, is it even more important to get a good start like that just to,
Yeah, you see what happened in the third quarter. They came out ready to play and, thank goodness we had built the lead from the first half, or else, you know, it'd been a tie ball game or we'd be down. So, you know, it's real important for us to come out and, you know, find that flow, push the pace, defend at a high level, and that's what we did.
Look, I apologize if this has been asked, but with the last 2 seasons in mind, how do you use the time like this when it seems like the playoff fate is pretty much sealed? It seems like you guys are locked in at the 4 seed, and just these 10 days, what do you use?
Yeah, that's a good question. Really have to see it play out. You know, I know a lot of teams. I know Lakers Clippers play tomorrow. I know that's a big one. Pelicans lost tonight. I don't know if that ruins their. See, I don't know. It's too hard to keep up with. You know, we're focused on what we have in here, and you know, we'll move forward. You know, after next game, or you know, see what happens.
But for you individually, like with the team in these 10 days,
Yeah.
what do you focus on the most?
Just staying sharp. You know, the most important basketball of the year is here, and realizing that. So, you know, I know we in the past watched the play-in games together. Just once we realize who our matchup is, just dive into that and, you know, move forward from there.
Looking forward to having an extra couple days to scout now instead of that
Yeah.
finding out the last second.
Yeah, and you know, a little time off, get everybody's bodies right. You know, it's a great time of year.
You said, just to piggyback on you talking about staying sharp. Last year, you guys had it clinched so early. You didn't play those last 4, maybe 5 games. Is this? You'd rather have obviously the you know, the best record in the league, but do you feel like the way these games and the importance of them is keeping you at that keeping that sharpness there?
Yeah, and we have new players. We have Kevin out there too, TJ in the lineup, and you know, we're kind of behind a bit if you're talking experience-wise together, but a plus in the talent level, I'd say. So, you know, just figuring that out. Even tonight's game, even when we were up 30, I'm sure we would have played most of the game, regardless how much we were up, just to, you know, find that flow and find that rhythm.
How have you liked the offensive flow? I know down the stretch of that Thunder game, you guys found Katie in the corner twice, and then that opened up
Yeah.
DA the next play. How have you liked being able to kind of make them pick your poison?
I mean, it's a beautiful thing, you know, when the game's played the right way, and you know, we have everybody on the same page, and when it's hitting on all cylinders like that, especially in, you know, a clutch part of the game, it's really important. You know, we understand that, you know, a lot of the games or some of the games are going to come down to those 1 or 2 possessions in the playoffs, and, you know, that counts.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
And what was kind of your mindset coming in there?
Just I feel like our last 3 or 4 third quarters has been pretty slow starts after playing with leads. So definitely was feeling that this time as well. So I just wanted to come in the game and just try to bring a spark. I know they had cut it to single digits, and we still had a little momentum, but I just wanted to just create some energy and just get us going and get the lead back up.
Those third quarters are part of just this group learning to play with the lead, since there are so many new pieces that have only been around for a couple of weeks, or are these things that you feel like you can just correct with energy or attention to detail, that type of thing?
If I'm being honest, I just feel like we relax. I feel like we get a big lead and just think sometimes teams might just lay down because of the guys we have. But it's the NBA, man. And teams just make runs, so we just got to learn to. We just got to be aware of that. I think it's an easy solution. I just think we have to be aware and cautious when we have the lead to kind of put our foot on team's throat and finish the game out.
A couple of minutes ago that nobody's had to adjust more on your roles than you and this team. So do you feel comfortable getting back to that role coming off the bench or being a 6th, 7th man compared to, you know, the starting role where you were asked to do so much more unexpectedly?
It's all just part of being a pro. I'm blessed enough to be in this league, to be on a team like this. So I'll take any role I can get, man. I'm not into all that. I don't look at it that way. I just look at it as me coming to work every day doing a job. And sometimes that job may require you to play 5 minutes or play 30 minutes or not play at all. But either way, I'm just blessed to be in this position that I'm in, and I don't take it for granted.
How are you feeling physically? We were talking to some of your teammates, and they were saying we don't often see a guy that takes the physical punishment that you do.
I mean, you feel it definitely after games the next morning, but in the game is all adrenaline going, so it's you just thinking next play, next possession, but you definitely feel it the next day or so. But I've always been that way, even in college. So yeah, I just have bad luck when it comes to getting hit or crazy stuff happening in a game. I always take the worst end of it, but that's part of who I am, and I guess it's a sign of toughness. I guess because I'm kind of used to it or immune to it at this point.
An example of that when it looked like you got your legs taken out and then you went down and back and had that alley-oop, I think, afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what happened on that play, honestly. I just tried to get a rebound. I just felt someone roll on my ankle and leg and knee, and then I kind of shook it off and just ran it down the court and able to make a play on the other end. But I have to look at it. But I think somebody fell on my leg. Yeah, it's all good.
You gotta release that full mixtape. That one day on Instagram, I remember you uploaded like 15 clips of you falling.
Yeah, it was like because I've saved them over time, and I was just looking through, and I was like, man, it was just so many clips of me just getting knocked out of the air, or elbowed, or ran over, or breaking my nose, and yeah, I thought it would be funny to kind of share like all the bloopers and crazy things that's happened to me over my short career.
Have you broken your nose multiple times?
Yeah, at one point I broke my nose 3 times in 18 months. Twice with Denver, one with Milwaukee. So yeah, I'm used to all that kind of stuff.
What hurt worse, that or the two?
Oh, the nose for sure. The nose for sure. Like I don't wish that on anybody. It's just that's kind of one of the worst places to get hit with an elbow or forearm because it's like the bone is not as strong as any other one. So yeah, I'm trying to don't even jinx it. I need to knock on wood or something. Only why we talking about that.
My fault.
How is your nose still looking like that after it's been broken 3 times in 18 months?
Well, the last time I actually got surgery with Milwaukee, so I broke it at the beginning of the season, and it was my first time doing a structural surgery. So they kind of put it back in place, but it still kind of have a lump on it. But it's all good. I don't get any complaints.
Monty always shows us his fingers and how they're not straight. It's like takes long enough, right?
Yeah, my finger's not straight either. It's my pinky broke one.
Yes.
I got it all, man. Whatever you want, I got it.
Thanks, Torrey.
Thanks, Torrey.
Thanks, Torrey.
Thanks, sir.